Hi, I'm attorney Vincent Davis, and I've been fighting CPS for over 35 years. Through my years of experience, I've gained invaluable insights that I'm ready to share with you. If you're a parent or a caregiver or a relative, we need to talk. I'm offering a new opportunity for you to speak with me on a one-on-one basis. Ask me any questions, and I'll provide you with the insight you need to take steps in your CPS case. Members get everything they need to gain confidence and the knowledge that they need to support necessary to truly fight back. And as a special thank you for attending, I have a special offer just for you. Don't miss out, join us, and let's take that next step together. I'll see you at the question and answer event.
Good evening and welcome. I'm having a little bit of problems here with my phone number. I have the correct PIN number, I have the correct phone number, I have Block Talk Radio that I'm trying to use, but like everything else, it seems lately that my podcast is on some stumbling blocks. I will try it again.
Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
Well, after five
Your
times.
show will go live in 5 seconds.
Yeah,
4,
after
3,
Jeez.
2, 1.
After 5 times, I got through. 5 times. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm sorry to start off on this note. I tried to start my podcast correctly at 7 o'clock. You just saw an ad for Vincent Davis to talk to you on Saturday. It's a Zoom meeting for in and out questions about things. Sorry for the background noise. I'm broadcasting from home, but apparently they didn't realize I'm live. Anyway, I want to welcome you all. This is very important. I had people that wanted to call in right at 7 o'clock, so that's why I want to be fully operational. I come on here early and I try to set things up, and it just did not work. I got it to work now. It says that I'm connected. Right now, it seems like all the comments for YouTube are now on Facebook, so we only have one area to look for comments. I found that out today, too. It's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things I just don't understand why my emails are not getting through to the person to get my Vonage going. But anyway, what a day I had. Imagine you all had a really rough day too, but I do welcome you, and I know what you're experiencing. The child protection system is the worst thing. That's what I call the agency that protects our children, the child protection system. The child protection system. In every state, you're going to find all kinds of acronyms. You're going to find DCS. You're going to find the cabinet. But when I say CPS, I mean the child protection system, which is a government agency that is supposed to protect or mandated by Congress to protect our children from and abuse, and also to give aid to needy families, such in the areas of food and shelter and clothing and transportation, education, medical, and even a job. A lot of people don't realize that. And also, if they need to take away your family members because they're in danger or they feel it's necessary, they are supposed to do family reunification. That's where they put the family back together. So that's what the child protection system is supposed to do. But I'm afraid you all are experiencing a rude awakening because that's not how the CPS has been towards you. I've talked to every state in the U.S. and I've even talked to Washington, D.C. What I mean by talking to them is people will call me in or text in about their CPS problem. So I've all talked to 50 states. In fact, I've talked to 14 countries around the world. And they too have problems. We welcome all people that want to talk about CPS or want help in CPS. The child protection system is broke and is corrupt. There have been people across the country that have died. Nancy Schaefer from Georgia was a senator for Georgia. She died that she was trying to protect and try to make the child protection system work. And right now, it did not seem to work. Hold on one second, please. Hold on one second, please. Okay. Um, I didn't know I was on mute. And so I'm going to go back to Anna. You're fighting CPS. There's no sound because I put myself on mute because I had outside disturbance in my home. I don't have the best studio in the world where I can have my privacy. And it's very hard to compete with my home life in the background. And so I lose my concentration. Also, I was working with my show producer, trying to explain to her that I had the information. I had to correctly enter it, but it took 4 tries to do there. And I had asked her to get my password for Vonage. That's the program we normally use on the phone. And apparently, the office, I've written several emails and no response. But anyway, I'm so glad you're here, Anna. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Now, as I was explaining to you, when you do a comment, it's important when you do a comment that um, that you give me not only your first name is Anna, which is fine, but the city or the county you're from and the state, the city or the county and the state. And then when you talk at first, try to talk about your case. Like, are you a single mother? Are you a married husband, wife? Are you a boyfriend, girlfriend? Are you a partnership? Are both parents involved with the kids? How many kids? The ages of the kids, the sexes of the kids. And then also, it could be, maybe you guys are different biological parents. Are the parents the same? Are the parents separated? Is one parent trying to fight the other parent? That helps me understand your case a lot. Also, what were the allegations besides neglect and abuse? More of the details, the allegations. And how were the children taken? Were they taken? Did CPS come and just take them, ask him for him? Did you give them up to him? Or did you go to the hospital and they took them? Did you go to their office and you took them? Those kind of things can help me out a lot. They can help me out a really, really lot of times. So. Let me check with my producer. They say they can hear me. Can you hear me? Grace is my producer, works very hard behind the scenes. And I'm asking Grace, can you hear me? Yes, now. Okay. Well, I took the mute off a couple minutes ago, but apparently you weren't hearing me, but the room was hearing me. Anyway, I'm so thrilled to have Anna Ritchie here. I don't know what city or state or county she's from, and a little bit about your case would help and how I could help you. Now, one of the first ways you can interact with this podcast is by being in my room. Just finding me. You found me on Facebook, Fight CPS Bob Pace. And that's how you found me. And I'm broadcasting on YouTube using the StreamYard application. That's where I'm broadcasting. And so you can listen, take notes. You can also do emojis. That's where you put a thumbs up, a heart, or you put smiley faces, or if you like what you're hearing, send me stars. Further, if you want to follow me, please check the follow button. And if you want to be notified when I'm live, check the notification button. And so that's how you would do pretty much in this first part of interacting with this podcast. The second way is to the second way is to type in a comment, which right now Anna has done. She's got one step of the game. I appreciate that. When typing in a comment, that's the second way. Please show me your first name, your city or county or state, and if you're from a country, that first name, the city or the state or the province, and your country. And it must be complete with your CPS case. It's very hard for me to second guess you, and I don't like to play a lot of ping pong ball. I enjoy ping pong. But if you complete with your case, like I say, whether you're a married couple, are you a single, are you just lovers? Are you just a partnership, or, maybe you're just boyfriend, girlfriend? But whatever you are, and then are the parents both involved with the CPS? Are you by yourself and one of the spouses has dropped out? Are there different parents of different children? And then the age of the children, the sexes of the children, and what were the allegations? A little bit more detail than neglect or abuse. And then further, how were the children taken? And all these things are really important and really like them in there. Now, as far as the countries go, it's welcome worldwide. We've had Bangladesh, we've had New Delhi, India, we've had a Middle Eastern country, but it's in Arabic, and I don't speak Arabic. We've had the continent of Africa, where I had Liberia on the northwest coast of Africa. Then I've had Rwanda on Central East Africa near Lake Victoria, had Mozambique, which is opposite on the east coast from Madagascar, the island of Madagascar. And then on the west coast of South Africa, I had a province there. I can't remember the province there, but it's the one on the west coast. Then we go up to Europe, and I've had England, Scotland, Wales, part of the United Kingdom, and then I've had Sweden and Denmark. Then across the pond to North America, I've had Canada, several of the provinces there, and of course, all the United States, all 50 states, including Washington, D.C. I've also had Mexico, and then further south in South America, I've had Grenada, east of Venezuela, north of Brazil on the east coast. Then across the Pacific, I've had the land down under Australia, and I've had the east coast, the Gold Coast around Sydney, and then the south coast at Melbourne in the state of Victoria. And so that's worldwide that they've also expressed their questions and concerns about CPS. So CPS, the Child Protection System, is a worldwide issue, a worldwide problem. And so that, to me, is something that I'm here to help you. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm very experienced in CPS. I've been fighting them now for 15 years. I, too, was taken by CPS. Three of my 6 children were kidnapped. They were trafficking into foster care. They were alienated from the mother and the father. And this is all because a layperson called in. My wife's in-laws, her mother, her father, her 3 sisters, and her brother would call in once a week. And that went on for 5 years, where they say we were not feeding our kids, not taking them to school, not showering them, etc., etc., etc. And once a week, I'd meet with a social worker in the street lights, because I lived in a private neighborhood about a mile from the beach, and with CCNRs. And I'd show them, I would talk to them. I even have it in my house. So there's nothing they could find was wrong. But this went on for 5 years. Then they decided to trick me and got the local police involved and forced me to come to my home and open it up so that 5 firemen, 2 code enforcement, 2 uniformed policemen, 3 social workers, and a detective could march to the home and try to find something. They were on a fishing expedition. And it was really sad because all this happened because in 2010, I'd lost my job through no fault of my own. I had gotten a lot of contracts awarded. Problem being is the state of California is going bankrupt and they needed the money. So they took that money and used it to keep the state of California afloat. But that was money that was awarded to me on public works contracts for road construction. And that money was not made available. I tried to get credit lines, but as you know, the banks were in serious problem in 2007, 2008. There's all these predatory loans. People were defaulting and the industry was crashing. And I too had a predatory loan. I was buffaloed. I've been buffaloed so many times. It's been really bad. It's really been bad. And so my life in 2010 wasn't too fantastic. And it was sad when I had to tell my family, I don't have a job anymore. That means no Disneyland passes. That means none of these trips around the world or these trips around the country or all these nice things I'd get my family. I had to cut back. That means we had to live a Spartan lifestyle. No cookies, no chips, no Coke, all the stuff there. I had to cut really back because I had to pay hefty mortgage payments. We had a beautiful home. Each child had their own bedroom, the bath. And the parents had a beautiful room with double doors and walk-in closets and jacuzzis and a toilet closet. And upstairs was nice. It was a nice area, nice view of our backyard, which was a tropical garden in the back with a walk-in rock pool and then an English garden on one side and a dog run on the other side with Siberian Huskies. And it had a 3-car garage. It was nice. Toggle switches for light switches. It had a den, computer, and a bedroom. And then on top of that, it had a formal dining room. They could eat, 8 people could eat there. The only problem was in the living room was stacked of boxes and furniture. And that was recently because my dad had passed away. My mom was slowly catching up there. And so it was really kind of hard there. So anyway, that's a little bit about my story. It was sad because for 3 years I had to fight them, and I got an attorney. That's when I got my case back. So I have 5 rules, and I have a lot of other things in there. So Anna, Rich A, I still don't know the city or the county you're from or your state. If you could share that with me. And changing doctors should not have CPS be involved. I don't know what the allegations are, but okay, you live in Indiana. Well, there's another person calling me from Indiana not too long ago with my husband. Okay. Did your husband call the other day? Because I had an Indiana man call in from Indiana. I think his name was Nathan. It was our first child, and she's a 2-month-old Humboldt County in Indiana. Okay, Hamilton County in Indiana. And so what happened with your 2-month child with the doctor? You'd come to the doctor, and what happened? What happened there? So we have a guest right now, Anna Ritchie, in a room talking about her case in Indiana. Now, a third way to interact on this podcast is to schedule to be our guest on the show. All you have to do is write an email and pick one of the times. I'm on Monday through Sunday, one of those days, and twice a day, either 10 in the morning or 7 o'clock at night. Now, I do have different times on Sunday. Sunday, it's 8 o'clock, which is earlier because I go to church. And then on Friday Night Lights, I have a time that I have to request to get permission, and I'll let you know. But usually it's 3 or 4 o'clock on Fridays because I have a football game, Friday Night Lights, that I go to. So you just tell Grace in your email that I want to be Bob's Wednesday evening show or Bob's Thursday morning show or Bob's Saturday evening or Sunday. Now, her email is grace@vincentwdavis.com, grace@vincentdavis.com. And she will gladly help you get on the podcast. She'll gladly help you get on the podcast. So you send her the email. She'll send the link to get on StreamYard, and then you get on. Now, if you get knocked off, don't panic because that link she sent you is still good for that show. So all you do is click that link again. You're back on the show. She'll also help you what to do and what to say and what not to say on the show. Now, typical things are like no eating, smoking during the show. They're also, we don't use the names of children, judges, or social workers on the show. And she'll work with you on your lighting and your microphone, all the issues there. Any question you have, she'll answer them. She's really good at what she does. And again, I thank her warm-heartedly. Grace, you're really great. Thank you, Grace. So anyway, send the email. That's the third way. Now, Anna, I'd asked another question from you. What did the doctor say? I mean, I don't know. Once you're at the hospital, your 2-month-old child, what did the doctor do? You said there was a change in doctors. Now, that's the third way they interact. Now, the fourth way is you can call my number. My number now is on. I just put it on the screen. I have a number right now you could use, 563-999-3480. That is my temporary office number. Right now, you can call me. As soon as I get my office number fixed, I'll be putting that up again. Now, I can only be called during my showtime hours. I cannot take calls before or after my show. Now, it's 563 999 3480. And right now it's on. You can call me. I don't hear when it rings because it's already on. That's the only downside is. So when you call in, you have to say something so I can pick up you because you could be on right now. I wouldn't even know it. Um, um, because the way it works, it connects to a site and then the phone stays open. So I guess people come and go and I don't know. So anyway, you can call in too, Anna, if you like. So those are the four ways. You can either be just content with this room, taking notes and doing emojis, or you could text a message and ask questions as Anna's doing, or you can be a guest where you arrange ahead of time to be on my show. You will be seen. I can take up to 9 guests, and you'll be live on the screen. The fourth way is I'll put you on speakerphone, and you can talk on the phone. So those are the four ways, Anna. So Anna, you were talking about a doctor. Yeah, okay. Her former doctor felt a numb on her collarbone. Okay, her former doctor felt a numb on her collarbone and said she thinks it's fractured. She said she was going to order an x-ray to be sure. Okay, that makes sense. Now, she felt a numb. What is a numb? I mean, was it numb on her shoulder or oh, it's likely from birth. Okay, all right. A bump. Okay, she felt a bump on her collarbone. Okay, so it could be a bump. But imagine there are social workers in that hospital and they're going to think you did something where you hit your child. I know exactly where this is going. So she has the bump and the doctor wanted to take x-rays. So what did the x-rays show? Okay. Let me put here. We are already in the process of changing the doctors due to lack of care. Oh, okay. So you're already in the process of changing doctors. Okay. Now, why was the first doctor not caring for your child? Did you want to call in and talk about this so it go quicker? Hello, who's this? Hello.
Anna.
Oh, hi, Anna. See, it didn't ring. I'm so sorry. I'm using this phone number. It's kind of archaic, but I'm so glad you are calling in because it'll move. It'll move better. Welcome, Anna from Indiana. Now, you said that you were in the process of changing doctor when the first doctor discovered a bump, and they were doing X-rays of it.
Yeah, so the full story is we were having a lot of issues with our pediatrician, like canceling appointments, and our daughter was having a lot of feeding issues, and we would be calling to try to get her an appointment, and they would just keep switching her formula and not getting us in to be seen. And so we had booked a appointment with a new pediatrician 3 weeks before the bump was discovered on her collarbone. And we decided to keep her 2 months, check out for her vaccines with her current doctor. And that's when the bump was discovered on her collarbone. And her doctor said that it was probably a fracture, likely from birth, and that there's nothing that you do for it other than let it heal. And she said she was going to put in an X-ray, in order for an X-ray just to confirm. But she said that there's nothing that you do for it. And the appointment that we had booked 3 weeks before this appointment was 4 days after this appointment. And my husband and I took the order for the X-ray to the new pediatrician. And the new pediatrician said that she agreed that it was probably a fracture likely from birth. And she said she recommended not doing the X-ray because she said that there's nothing that you do to fix the break. You just let it heal. And she said that there's no need to expose her to unnecessary radiation. Now, in the process, her former doctor, I guess, called CPS on us for not doing the X-ray.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the problem about professionals. Doctors are professionals. They are trained to observe neglect or abuse. But sometimes that sounds like that doctor was due to retaliation because you switched to pediatrician. I don't know what kind of pediatricians they are in Indiana, but you have every right to change pediatricians. And all that does, you see, this is a problem with call-ins, either by lay people or professionals. The social worker of the child protection system will automatically think you're guilty. And they're probably thinking you're guilty of physical abuse. You did something to create the bump on the child's collarbone. And so they think you're guilty. That's how it works in the child protection system world. You're guilty until you're proven innocent. If it's a criminal matter, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. And also, there's a trial that takes place in criminal matter. But in the child protection system, there's no trial. It's all handled by so-called professionals. It's hard for me to keep a straight face to call child protection social workers professionals. They're not licensed. They're not college educated. They don't even have a high school education. They've not been mentoring anybody. They're not even trained. And I'm saying this very harshly because of the 500 some people I've talked to, including myself, that has been the case. I know there's good social workers out there. I've had 3 on my show, and I know that they're not all bad. But it seems like there's a lot of bad ones, and they're hurting the system, and they're abusing the system. It's all about money. They've found out they can make trillions of dollars a year by trafficking children into foster care and alienate them from their parents. I mean, there are people across the country. There was a senator in Georgia that died very mysteriously. And she was an advocate of having the child protection system doing what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to protect children from neglect and abuse, not attack parents, not steal the children for money purposes so they can pay their employees sanctions and bonuses. I know this for a fact. My 3 children were stolen from me. And this is in Orange County in California. And I fought with the director all the way down the line. I fought with everybody in the agency. They're very corrupt. They're so corrupt. It's unbelievable. And if you don't need to me...
Yeah, so then what happened?
Go ahead.
Okay, so then what happened was I get a text from a social worker saying that there's been allegations of abuse. And my mom sees that text and she's like, Anna, don't answer it. She said it's spam. And then she said if it was really a social worker, they would have called you and left you a voicemail. And I looked at my phone and I was like, they did. And then I called my husband and he said he got the same text. And then my husband calls the number and we do a conference call. And me and my mom are currently up visiting my grandpa with my child. And the social worker says we have to meet him tonight. And me and my mom are 3 hours away at my grandpa's. And so we come home, and then my husband and I meet with the social worker, and both sets of our parents are also present for this meeting. And they interview me and my husband, asking us if we know anything about the allegations, about the switching doctors and the fracture on her collarbone, and they're asking us why we didn't get her care, and we explained the whole we were changing pediatricians due to lack of care, and that her new pediatrician recommended against the x-ray. And they interviewed us, and they acted like everything was all fine and dandy. They acted like they were wrapping up, and that it was just going to be chalked up to a misunderstanding. Both sets of our parents leave and go home because they think that the meeting is over. And then they drop the ball saying, you have to go to the hospital with us to get a full body scan. Not just an x-ray of her shoulder or her collarbone, a full body scan. And we said that we weren't comfortable with that due to the radiation, her pediatrician recommending against it. And they said, if you don't comply with it, more than likely our supervisor is going to call for a court date and removal of the child. So we comply and go to the hospital, get this body scan, and then they said that they saw a fracture on one of her ribs. We had another lawyer look at, having a lawyer of ours is having somebody look at the x-ray because our lawyer doesn't believe that her rib was actually fractured. But anyway, they said that she had fractures on her ribs, and then they said that they needed to do a head CT scan, and then they had an ophthalmologist come in, and they were checking her eyes out. They ran they did probably 20 scans of our kids before it was all said and done. And then we were there for 15 hours, and at the end of the 15 hours, they said that they needed to remove the child because they could not confirm child safety, and our child was ultimately placed with my parents. And my parents have custody of her currently. We've had 2 court dates so far. We have a fact-finding hearing. I'm not really sure what that is, but we have a fact-finding hearing coming up in December. This just happened all 2 weeks ago. This whole situation started 2 weeks ago.
Well, I got some terrible news to tell you. I got some terrible news. By talking to them, they're scamming you. You know, one of the rules is you never talk to social workers because everything you say to them, they'll use against you. They trick you, bring you up, and then put you down. They tell you one thing and do another thing. Their whole purpose is to get money from your child. It's $1 trillion business, not billion, not million, $1 trillion a year business that the child protection system is doing. Now, there's nothing wrong. The first doctor I don't know why he would allege, if he's a professional and he's been trained, I don't know why he would allege the comment to the social worker that the parents were refusing to do a scan. And you have every right to do another pediatrician. The child protection system social workers are not doctors. They think they are, but they're not doctors. They think they are sometimes a god. They think they're too high for them because no one is watching them. You see, they're unsupervised. All you have to do is look at a real simple case right now, not too long ago, in 2022, in the city of Prescott, Arizona. Prescott is a small town in Arizona. It's where the Billy Jack movies were filmed, and there was several Indian reservations there. Anyway, 8 social workers, all women, decided to get pink t-shirts. Now, pink is a color for breast awareness, but these ladies weren't interested in that. What they did, they had stenciled on the front of the t-shirt, professional child kidnappers. And on the back, they put, parents, do you know where your children are at? And they paraded around in big, like Costco, Kmart, Walmart, Target, Best Buys, all the big department stores, making parents feel really creepy. That's the kind of social workers you got to think about that are working your case. And Indiana is no excuse. I've heard nothing but negativisms from Indiana. Whether it's Indiana, Pennsylvania, Mississippi, Louisiana, I've heard over 500 stories about how negative the social workers are. And the bottom line is it's all for the money. Now, you mentioned something really important to me, which I heard. You mentioned an attorney. Was this attorney you hired, or was this a court-appointed attorney?
We hired this attorney. He was actually, my dad knows somebody who used to work for CPS, and she recommended this attorney.
Oh, my goodness. First of all, you know, it's hard because parents aren't given a book or life skills about how to deal with CPS. You don't get help from CPS or ask for a recommendation from CPS. The attorney that you want is called the dependency law family juvenile attorney. Someone that deals with juvenile families and dependency law is the kind of attorney you want. Criminal law attorneys will not work.
This person does that. This person was a former CPS. She formerly worked for CPS, and she left the business, and she's a personal friend of my dad.
Well, apparently she got you the wrong attorney, because this is not that complicated of a case. I imagine if Vincent Davis was your attorney, he'd have this nipped up really quick, because changing pediatricians is not against the law. What he does, he needs to put the agency on notice that they're not professionals. They're not professionals in the sense of medical professionals. They don't have a doctorate degree. They're not MDs. They're social workers who don't have a license, who have no college background, who probably have no training in Indiana about how to be a social worker. They're supposed to help out parents in need. Now, did you guys both work, or one of you works, or what's the situation?
I actually work for KinderCare, which is a daycare.
And your husband works?
And my husband, yeah, he works. He works night shift at a grocery store and stocks the produce department.
Nothing wrong with that lifestyle. It's beautiful. Do you guys have a home, or do you rent?
We own a home.
Jeez. Oh, my goodness gracious. You've been really, I'm glad you called in. How did you find out about my podcast?
That Vince person, that Davis you were talking about, I subscribed to his channel, and your podcast popped up in my recommendations.
Oh, good. Well, I'm so glad you found me. I thought maybe there's a man, Nathan from Indiana, that called the other day. I thought maybe he was the husband.
No, my husband's name is Nick.
Okay. Well, I've had 2 people from Indiana lately. You're the second one. And it's really, I really feel for you because you're trying to raise a child. Raising a child is difficult. I have 6 children, and you're not given a book on how to raise children. In fact, I don't know if there's such a good book anymore. The only thing I heard, and this will probably tell you I'm a dinosaur, but there's a guy named Dr. Spock that wrote, not the guy on Star Trek, but Dr. Spock, who wrote all these children books in the 50s about how to raise children, the 40s and 50s. And anyway, it's hard raising children, hard to know everything. And that medical doctor, was this a young doctor that called CPS?
No, it's a female, and she's probably in her 40s.
Well, why would she call CPS for something like this?
Because we didn't get the x-ray done, and she thought that since we switched doctors that we were like running away from her.
Oh boy. Are there a lot of these kinds of cases going on in Indiana, in Humboldt County?
I'm not sure if there's a lot of them or not, but she basically thought we were doctor hopping. Like, she pointed out a break, and because she thought that we thought she was on, I guess she suspected we did this to her, and then she pointed it out, and then we were running from her. It's how she took it. And even though she said it was likely from birth, I don't know why she would think that we did something to her. She said it's likely from birth. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I guess she had tried to call me several times to see if I had the x-ray done yet, and I was ignoring her phone calls because we had switched doctors. And with me not having the x-ray done and ignoring her phone calls, I guess she suspected that there was abuse or neglect going on and called CPS.
Wow. And now CPS has tricked you. You had this meeting, which you should never have had a meeting without your attorney present. Because if he was a good...
We didn't even have an attorney at that point.
Yeah.
The first meeting was just them confronting us for the first time.
Well, they want to get it early before you get an attorney. What I suggest to most people is to tell them that if they want to meet with you, or if you happen to talk to them, just say, that's great, but I got to have my attorney present. This is a legal matter, and by my constitutional rights, I'm entitled to have an attorney present through all phases of this. So we'll schedule a time. Where did you guys meet? At your home or at their office?
Yeah, at my home.
Yeah, you never wanted to meet at your home. You never want them. No, they will say they have to. There's no law. There's no law that says they have to go to your home. They have to get a warrant if they want to get in your home. They have to get legal documentation. See, they know the law, and they know how to trick parents. You don't know the law. And if you had your attorney then, he would have told you he needs to be present. And you say things through your attorney, not through yourselves. You don't answer anything unless the attorney tells you to. Because what you say will be used against you. Now they're going to make you go all kinds of hoops and hurdles and expect you to take all these parenting classes. Maybe they want you to take a program. They went to your home. They're probably fishing, and they don't have everything, but they're going to find something. Did they search your home?
They walked through our home, yeah.
Yeah, they're looking for drugs. They can go through your underwear drawer. I don't understand what the fascination that the child protection system has with female underwear drawers.
They look good. So when they came in our family room, and then they went in the kitchen, and they said that they needed to take a picture of the fridge and of the pantry to make.
They're trying to find something. They are trying to trick you to find something because, your home is your castle. By the way, no one can come in your home unless they have a court order or there's extreme danger and presence of children happening. If you guys are arguing or fighting and knives or guns are being thrown around, then yeah, the police or social workers can come in. But if they're not, you can say, no, you're not coming in. And they have to have a warrant. And you could say that, fine, I'll have my attorney here. And he'll look at the warrant. They'd use all kinds of ploy.
And then
Go ahead.
they took pictures to make sure that we had running water and like all that kind of. They had a checklist.
Well, yeah,
And then
because
they
they're
took a picture
fishing.
of
They're
our
fishing.
child.
You see, they don't have anything against you. They don't have anything against you. They're fishing and sizing up the opposition. Their whole goal is to make money. They're not in there to help you as a family. They're not happy with, they don't know about family reunification. Children should never be taken from their parents unless they're in extreme danger. My 3 children were in school the day they took my children, and they were put into danger. They were put into a foster care shelter next door to a juvenile prison with juveniles play yard next to the children's play yard. Is that safe? No. There was cockroaches in the shelter. The food was terrible. Their means of education was reading a book to them. My 3 kids were in STEM, in science, technology, engineering, and math programs. They're very accelerated. One was in a private school, but they didn't do any of that. And they try to alienate you from your parents because they will not tell your kids. Of course, your daughter's only 2 months of what your mom or dad are going through, and there's no communication with CPS to you and your kids or vice versa. It's lucky you got your parents to temporarily watch over them while you're working this case out. They're trying to get money for your child. And I'm talking big time money. I'm talking like $20,000 a month per child. That's a lot of money. It doesn't take you 20. Do you and your husband spend $20,000 a month to take care of your child?
No.
Well, that's what they're getting. There's nobody watching them. The money comes from the federal government. It's shipped to the state, and the state ships it to the county. So you're going to have
And
what's
we're only allowed to have supervised.
now. Why do you only have supervised visits? Because they're thinking that you're going to beat your child again. Is that what they're saying? Supervise?
I'm assuming that's why. And my husband's here too.
No, it's all right. Welcome. I
know.
know he's very frustrated. You both are very frustrated. You sound like loving people, and you both got jobs. You got yourself a home, and all of a sudden you got these weirdos that are called the child protection. So you're like Alice in Wonderland. If you know what Alice in Wonderland, the story, you're in the backyard, you're in your garden, you fell in the rabbit hole, and then you meet the Chester cat, and the cat sends you to this room and that room. That's what CPS is all about. And you have, whoops. Oh, good grief. I'm hoping that it suddenly lost a call here. Hold on. Let me try to reconnect again. Oh, brother. I'm so sorry. If you can still hear me, Anna, I'm trying to reconnect the phone. Okay. I'm trying to get it reconnected, Anna. I lost my connection to my radio. I'm so sorry. Until I get my phone fixed, this is not good. Okay. One thing is I don't have my numbers memorized. If you pause, it thinks you give a wrong number. I'm having trouble with Block Talk Radio. Hang in there, Anna. I'm still trying to reconnect. Anna. Hold on. I'm still trying to reconnect. Okay. This is ridiculous. Okay. Now I'll go Block Talk Radio. Something wrong with Block Talk Radio. It's not connecting there. Hold on. I'm going to try to walk around. I'll be right back here. Hold on. That I had to remove, but anyway, Anna, I do apologize. Hopefully you can call in again. I have about 3 minutes left. The Block Talk Radio has been really a nightmare to use, but anyway, hopefully I get my volumes connected up there. Anyway, Anna and your husband, I didn't get to hear his name there. What you need to do is make sure you get that attorney you hired. If he has the background in dependency law, he needs to fight for your case. There's nothing wrong with switching pediatricians, but you don't want to talk to the CPS people. You don't want to let them in your home, and you certainly want to go through your attorney. You need to run everything through him. Now, your finding court date, that's an important one. That's coming up in December. And you need to call me back so I can help you with that, because hopefully you can hear me. I don't know if you can still hear me, Anna. Are you still on there, or did I lose you completely? But anyway, tonight's show, we had Anna from Indiana that unfortunately was doing nothing wrong and trying to protect her young child, who supposedly may have had a birth defect of a bump on her shoulder. And she switched to another pediatrician, and the first pediatrician called CPS and said that the parents were trying to avoid them and trying to raise up something that wasn't true. It's very, I understand where you're from, but the CPS, you cannot trust them. You cannot talk to them. You cannot get them in your home. Those are no-nos. Any good attorney that does dependency law, juvenile family law, will tell you that you need to go through them and get through there. So Anna, so please call in again. I'm on again tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And then again at night at 7 p.m. That's on, tomorrow is Wednesday. Today is Tuesday. So tomorrow being Wednesday, I think it is Wednesday. What's the 22nd? Yeah. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So for all you listeners out there, Please come back again tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock and ask your questions and type them in, and I'll try to answer the best I can. I want to thank all of you for listening and all the thumbs up and the smiley faces and the loves. Thank you very much. Please do not give up. Keep fighting for your kids. It really is really a good thing there. And so I do apologize for the interruptions and everything tonight. There will be a brief little message from my attorney right after I sign off. God bless y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good night.
Hi, I'm attorney Vincent Davis, and I've been fighting CPS for over 35 years. Through my years of experience, I've gained invaluable insights that I'm ready to share with you. If you're a parent or a caregiver or a relative, we need to talk. I'm offering a new opportunity for you to speak with me on a one-on-one basis. Ask me any questions, and I'll provide you with the insight you need to take steps in your CPS case. Members get everything they need to gain confidence and the knowledge that they need to support necessary to truly fight back. And as a special thank you for attending, I have a special offer just for you. Don't miss out. Join us, and let's take that next step together. I'll see you at the question and answer event.